I want to start this podcast with a quote. The quote is, "The greatest adventures begin with a leap of faith, not knowing where you will land, but trusting that you will fly." The other day, I had a good conversation with a friend of mine. We grew up together. We worked together for many years. We've been through a lot of situations together, so I trust this guy and his judgment. And we was on the phone, we was talking about something new that he had gotten himself into because he left the company that we worked together with. And he said, "D, I just love it." And I said, "Bro," how is it, man? How is it being, entrepreneur? How is it doing your thing? He said, "Man, it's my calling." He said, "I love what I do." He said, "I look forward to getting up in the morning." He said, "I'm excited about my day." He said, "Things are not good every single day, but the fact that I am doing what I'm called to do, the fact that I'm walking in my purpose, the fact that I am enjoying life on a different level, making a difference, D, there is no greater feeling for me right now." And I said, "Man, that is freaking awesome." I said, "But bro, let me ask you a question. What was it that finally clicked in you? Because you've had this dream and you've had this vision for your life. You've been afforded this way of thinking for a long time. Ever since I've known you, you've had this thought." I said, "What was it that really clicked in you that said, now it's time?" He said, "D, Jim Rohn had a quote, and he says that if you work on your job, you'll make a really good living. But if you work on yourself, you'll make a fortune." And he said, "I'm not just talking about financial fortune." He said, "But emotional fortune, spiritual fortune, physical fortune." He said, "D, my life is where it should be, and I am doing the things I want to do because I made the decision to jump." He said, "Man, sometimes you just have to jump, not knowing where you will land, but just knowing, D, that you're going to fly." If I had not made a decision to jump into an unknown hell, leaving a known heaven, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I'm not fully arrived, D, in my purpose. I'm not fully arrived in my passion. I'm not fully arrived where I want to be yet, but I am making the strides, my man, to be where God wants me to be. Man, a lot of you guys not. That conversation had me in tears because as I reflect over some things in my life, I know I've got opportunities where I need to jump. I prepare myself for situations. I look at the opportunities that God has given me. I believe when it says I'm going to enlarge your territory. I believe all of that, and I know all of that, and I'm making myself more available, and I'm putting myself out there more. But there's a part of me, I'm going to be honest, there's still a little apprehension about jumping. And maybe you relate to me that you're talented in one area. You not just talented, but you are gifted. You are putting in the dedication. You are putting in the hard work. You're putting in the sacrifices. You are putting in the blood, the sweat, and the tears. That you are forsaking all other things for the vision and for the purpose and for the calling that God put in your life. But yet there is still a part of you that is afraid for you to do what? Jump. If I can encourage you today as I encourage myself today, I want to remind you that everything that you've gone through has prepared you for this moment. You have learned resiliency from your challenges, from the things, from your setbacks. You have learned to be resilient in the way life has handled you, and you have came back from many, many difficulties. You know how I know? Because you're listening to my podcast. Life hasn't always been easy, but even in the hard times of life, when you had to lift some heavy burdens, you know what it taught you? It taught you that you can be resilient. You know what? You also have unlocked potential. There are some things in you that God put in you that maybe you don't even know you have yet. And you won't know that you have until you jump. You've got some potential in you. You just don't have talent, but you got the dedication. You've got the inspiration. You've got the will to make it happen. You're studying every day. You're making a sacrifice every single day. Maybe you get up and you write in your journal every single day. You're practicing your gratitudes every single day. You're doing sacrifices all the time. You're doing things in your life that's going to put you in position. Yes, it is time for you. It is time for me to unlock our potential. God is not putting things in your way by mistake. He is putting blessings on your plate to fill you up, so that you can regurgitate his goodness in your life. Maybe, my friend, it's time for us to jump. You see, opportunities, they say, only knock once. I'm not really sure. But whether opportunities knock, we also have an obligation, because some doors are already open. We just need to walk through the door and make the opportunities work for us. So today, whenever you listen to this podcast, think about it. Is it time for you to jump? Is it time for you to walk into the purpose that God has put in front of you? Is it time for you to live your best life? Is it time for you to make a decision that you can overcome? Is it time for you to say it's time to make a decision to make my life better so that I can help someone else, so I can inspire, influence, and make an impact? Is it time for you to love on you? Because it's time for you to jump. They say that a baby eagle, won't leave the nest. And you know how high an eagle flies, so you know the nest is way up in the mountains. But they say that the mother eagle, will push the baby eagle out of the nest. Not to be cruel, not to be mean, so that the eagle will know that it's time for it to fly. What do you need to do to push yourself out the nest? What do you need to do to put yourself in position to just jump? Not knowing where you're going to land, but just knowing that you are flying. It's always a better way, my friend. Is it time for you to jump? Peace.